The effort to recount the population of Nelsonville is underway. Plus, a few social media sites have been inaccessible due to internal access issues. And in sports, Ohio football looks to keep its momentum going after winning its MAC opener this weekend. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Madison Moore. Nelsonville's census recount is underway. Today was the first official day of counting as local volunteers knock on doors in an attempt to bring the city's population above 5,000, nearly 400 more than their official 2021 census count. Newswatch reporter Ben Schwartz is in Nelsonville with more. Ben?
Let's go. Go.
Thank you, Madison. So we're here at the Nelsonville Community Commons, where the Rotary Club is hosting a free community dinner to help round up support for the recount operation. The city needs as many people as possible to help knocking on doors and recording names and addresses as they're trying to reach 5,000 residents by the end of this week. Counters are working from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. throughout the rest of this week. And I talked with Mallory Swaim, who's a volunteer helping out. She says she's very confident in the recount so far and that she believes the city will be able to find 5,000 people before the week ends. Taylor Sappington, the city's auditor and head of the whole operation, also relayed his confidence too, saying that Nelsonville has more than 5,000 people and they just have to make sure they count all of them. So be sure to stay tuned to Newswatch for the rest of this week. We're going to have more info on this effort as it continues to develop. Back to you, Madison.
Thanks, Ben. Social media users are frustrated today after Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp are experiencing major outages. As of now, Facebook is completely inaccessible on all platforms. Instagram and WhatsApp are accessible, but users can't load new content or send messages. According to the New York Times, Facebook's internal services, including their security network and emailing systems, are down as well. While the cause of the outages is unknown, experts claim the issue is a result of a server failure preventing websites from being active. Facebook CTO Mark Schroepfer acknowledged the issues in a tweet and says the company is working to resolve the issues. Also today, Facebook asked the U.S. District Court in D.C. to dismiss amended antitrust complaint. The complaint was filed by the Federal Trade Commission. Facebook says the FTC has no plausible facts the company is an unlawful monopoly. This comes after the airing of the 60-minute episode airing a bombshell interview with Facebook whistleblower. In the interview, she accused the company of prioritizing profits over public good. Isabel Rosales is in Washington with the former employee's claims and the pushback from the social media giant.
The Facebook whistleblower coming forward.
There were conflicts of interest between what was good for the public and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook over and over again chose to optimize for its own interests.
Former Facebook product manager Frances Haugen leaked tens of thousands of pages of internal research and documents. She claims they show the social media giant knows the platform is used to spread hate, violence, and misinformation and has tried to hide it.
The version of Facebook that exists today is tearing our societies apart.
Haugen points the finger at the company's algorithm.
Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site, they'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
After Facebook dissolved her department's civic integrity and turned off misinformation prevention tools post-election, she says she had enough.
They basically said, oh good, we made it through the election, there wasn't riots, we can get rid of civic integrity now. Fast forward a couple months, we got the insurrection.
Facebook is aggressively pushing back.
I think if the assertion is that January the 6th can be explained because of social media, I just think that's ludicrous.
Denying many of Haugen's claims in a statement, saying in part, we continue to make significant improvements to tackle the spread of misinformation and harmful content. To suggest we encourage bad content and do nothing is just not true. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Haugen filed at least 8 complaints with the Securities and Exchange Commission, alleging Facebook is hiding research about its problems from investors and the public. Haugen also shared documents with the Wall Street Journal, which published a multi-part investigation showing the company was aware of the negative effects of misinformation and harm caused especially to young girls on Instagram. Tomorrow, she will testify in front of a Senate subcommittee hearing. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked today to respond to the allegations made by Hogan.
Today in Athens, we're going to see 71 degrees as thunderstorms continue to stay in the area. These thunderstorms resemble the last of what we've been seeing from an ongoing system. Across the region, we see a relatively stable lower 70s pattern as thunderstorms last in the whole area. And in the week ahead, we continue to see some summer-like humidity as high temperatures continue to persist throughout the week. Also, there will be some rain later in the week. Stay tuned to find out when.
Sorry for technical difficulties. Ohio has doubled the amount of money for its new Vax to College program to $2 million. As the prize has increased, the age range of those eligible has also expanded. Health officials from across the state have been raising awareness to the increasing rate of younger patients becoming sick and hospitalized with COVID-19. A large amount of those patients are unvaccinated. Due to the high rates, the Vax to College program plans to include children 5 years and older once the vaccine is authorized for them at the end of the month. Initially, the program targeted residents aged 12 to 25 who had received the coronavirus vaccine. But the state is now awaiting the FDA authorization for the Pfizer shot, expected in late October, to include 5 to 11-year-olds. YouTube is banning disinformation about COVID-19 and other vaccines. It's unclear that if it will make a difference this far into the pandemic, and with misinformation entrenched in the segments of society. CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan spoke about the ban with an engineer who worked on the YouTube algorithm.
YouTube announced this week that it would crack down more on vaccine misinformation, but almost 2 years into the pandemic, the news left many people asking,
what took them so long?
No, that should have been done like 10 years ago. I mean, by the design of the algorithm, you could have guessed 10 years ago that anti-vax content was generating a lot of watch time.
The company saying it will now ban well-known false claims about approved vaccines, including that they will cause autism, cancer or infertility, or that substances in vaccines can track those who receive them.
I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick.
That's anti-vax conspiracy theorist Sherry Tenpenny, who, despite a history of making unhinged claims like that, was only recently suspended by YouTube.
This is not content without consequences. This misinformation, when it takes hold in communities, it can have a profound impact.
And taken hold it has. Sherry Tenpenny's conspiracy theories have spread far and wide.
My own doctor tried to get me to get the shot, and I told him to go watch Dr. T. Penny.
So you trust this woman on the internet more than your own doctor?
I do.
Another super spreader of COVID misinformation only banned by YouTube this week, Joseph Mercola, who had almost 500,000 followers on the platform.
It's an unproven vaccine. It's just being accelerated and eliminated virtually every safety study.
Mercola still has almost 2 million followers on Facebook and more than 300,000 on Twitter. Reacting to his YouTube ban, he said in a statement he was being censored, an attack on his freedom of speech. But the conspiracy theorist had little to say when confronted by CNN's Randy Kay in August.
Do you feel responsible for people who didn't get vaccinated, possibly got sick and died because of what you told them about the vaccines? What do you say to families who lost loved ones?
YouTube previously banned misinformation about treatment and prevention of COVID-19. A looming debt ceiling has Congress pushing to meet an October 18th deadline. Activists took the streets over the weekend to make their voice heard about abortion legislation. These stories and more when Newswatch returns. raise the debt ceiling to avoid. Yeah. The white line. President Joe Biden hopes his speech. It's like Anchor Madison, and then it goes into the intro. It looks right. It looks right. It says Anchor Madison and President Joe Biden hopes his speech. That's the next one. Yeah. President Joe Biden hopes his speech will push Congress to avoid allowing the U.S. to default on its debt for the first time ever. Congress has 2 weeks to raise the debt ceiling to avoid the major economic fallout, not only for the country, but for the entire global economy. Currently, progress is at a stalemate. Chris Nigan has the latest from Washington as the clock ticks down to the October 18th deadline.
On Monday, an urgent message from the president to the GOP to put partisan bickering aside.
It's hypocritical, dangerous, and disgraceful.
Lawmakers have 2 weeks to raise the country's borrowing limit as the U.S. faces default, which could have devastating consequences.
Not only are Republicans refusing to do their job, they're threatening to use their power, to prevent us from doing our job, saving the economy from a catastrophic event.
Democrats say Congress should vote on a bipartisan basis to pay for bills for which both parties are responsible. But Republicans believe Democrats should handle the issue on their own through a special budget process known as reconciliation.
Clumsy efforts at partisan jams do not work. What works is when the majority accepts the reality of the situation.
Failure to raise the debt ceiling in time could delay payments that many rely on, including Medicare, military paychecks, tax refunds, and Social Security. Also on the line, tens of billions in COVID-19 economic recovery aid and a possible rise in mortgage and credit card interest rates if lawmakers fail to act.
And we've been warned by not only the Treasury Secretary, but by all of the financiers across America, this would be deadly to our economy. It would cost us 6 million jobs.
A congressional standoff with no signs of who will fold first. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns lawmakers that the federal government will likely run out of cash before the October 18th deadline. The debt limit must either be raised or suspended soon, according to Secretary Yellen. Demonstrators lined the streets of downtown Cincinnati on Saturday in support of abortion rights. Participants in the Rally for Abortion Justice March gathered at Fountain Square, City Hall, and the Hamilton County Courthouse to protest recently passed anti-abortion laws in Texas. People held signs, chanted, and even had a moment of silence. One participant says she showed up because she believes Roe v. Wade must be upheld. The Rally for Abortion Justice March was one of the 650-plus marches that were held across the country. A human trafficking sting became the largest of its kind, with 10 missing children discovered. Former Star Trek actor will see space for himself on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. That story's still ahead.
And it was a rainy weekend in Southeast Ohio. I apologize for the technical difficulties. It was a rainy weekend in Southeast Ohio. Find out when we'll finally get a break. But as of right now, let's have a look at stocks of local interest.
How did these homes change America?
I'm Jeffrey Baer, and I'll be your guide
as we go inside 10 homes that changed the way we live. From Taos Pueblo, to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, to Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water.
Find out which great American homes made the list
of 10 homes that changed America.
On Life from Above. Looking down from space, satellite cameras capture the brilliant colors of our planet, revealing an amazing kaleidoscope set in a world that is vibrant, surprising, and changing, created by nature and humans. Discover our planet's incredible spectrum of colors as you've never seen it before.
They're invisible keepers of cosmic secrets.
These particles are fundamentally important in the universe.
Neutrinos.
What are these neutrinos' role in the Big Bang, the evolution of our universe?
And what makes the stars shine? And are they keys to unlock a hidden universe?
95% of the universe is an utter complete mystery.
It's mind-blowing. Particles unknown on Nova.
It's absolutely a crazy project.
This is our real shot. We don't want to screw it up.
We're building a stick in the sky.
Within a New York landmark,
You can see where the historic building sat.
this super tall skyscraper
A couple 100 feet taller than the Empire State Building.
can only be as
It
wide
has a very small footprint.
as a basketball court.
1,500 feet up in this small amount of area, a logistical nightmare.
If you'll have a look at our visible satellite image, you can continue to see the rain that is pounding the area. This rain, we're going to begin to see the end of it, and on our visible surface, on our surface analysis, you'll be able to see a low pressure system and a high pressure system right together, and an advancing cold front, which is bringing us the last of our rain. And for the hour by hour tonight, you're going to see a chance of thunderstorms early in the day and some calmer winds as you get towards 10 o'clock p.m. And at midnight, we will see 100% humidity, which will come into play later in the day. And tonight in Athens, it will be 60 degrees and mostly cloudy. We will see some very calm winds going north from 0 to 5 miles per hour. And across the region, you will see 60 degrees in most of the area. It will get a little bit warmer towards Columbus at 62 degrees and a little cooler towards the south of the region. The hour by hour for tonight, we're going to see, or for tomorrow morning, we will see some patchy fog at around 8 o'clock a.m. as humidity will continue to persist through the midday, and towards noon, we will begin to see some increasing pressure, which will hopefully bring us some nicer weather for the next day. And tomorrow it will be 77 degrees as a high and partly cloudy. That pressure will be 1021 millibars and will be the highest it has been in a while. Winds will be relatively calm, 0 to 5 miles per hour, blowing from the east. And across the region, we will see high 70s to 80s for most of the area, with 82 degrees down in Ripley. And tomorrow's surface analysis, you will see the cold front that was approaching through the region begin to stall out towards southern Ohio, and that will bring some possible showers in the future for the 7-day forecast. For the 7-day forecast, we will have a nicer day tomorrow, and in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will continue to see some rain. We'll have some high temperatures at the beginning of the week, and some colder low temperatures as we approach Saturday and Sunday. Weather for the homecoming game will be very nice, but that 30% chance of showers will be towards the afternoon for game time, so watch out for that. And Sunday and Monday, we will see some nicer temperatures as the weather is going to be excellent for going outside. So if you have anything planned for the weekend, please continue to, please have your plans.
For the third year, law enforcement around Ohio conducted a human trafficking sting. Operation Ohio Now's turned out to be the largest sting of its type in state history. Attorney General Dave Yost said 51 potential human trafficking victims were rescued and 161 men were arrested in 17 communities. Yost said this is the first time the sting has been conducted when the crime of buying sex is more severe than the penalty for trying to sell sex. Yost says as a former prosecutor, he used to think those trying to sell sex should be arrested. He says some arrests do happen and can help get victims into treatment, but he's changed his stance a bit. Yost said 10 missing children were also found by the U.S. Marshal Service. More than 100 people were arrested in similar statewide stings in 2020 and in 2019.
Hi, I'm Ethan Sargent, and coming up in sports, Ohio soccer, hockey, and field hockey were all in action this weekend. Find out how they did later on. And right after the break, find out how Ohio football was able to capture their elusive first win, so make sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Now here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your local public television station.
Southeast Ohio football is back and better than ever in 2021, and Gridiron Glory has you covered with the latest stories and award-winning coverage from around the region. Tune in Fridays at 11:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. to find out who's bringing the glory all season long. You can catch all this season's action at woub.org/gridiron or stay up to date and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get ready and remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
On Life from Above. Looking down from space, satellite cameras capture the brilliant colors of our planet, revealing an amazing kaleidoscope set in a world that is vibrant, surprising, and changing, created by nature and humans. Discover our planet's incredible spectrum of colors as you've never seen it before.
Meet Rita Moreno,
I wanted to be a movie star from the time I saw my first picture.
who found her good times only after some really difficult ones.
I was often treated like a sex object.
Enjoy Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner Rita Moreno, just a girl who decided to go for it.
Very early on, I realized that getting attention was a very nice thing.
On American Masters.
How did these homes change America?
I'm Jeffrey Baer, and I'll be your guide
as we go inside 10 homes that changed the way we live. From Taos Pueblo, to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, to Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater.
Find out which great American homes made the list
of 10 homes that changed America.
Hello everybody, I'm Ethan Sargent. I'm here with sports. The Ohio football team was looking to finally get that zero out of the win column on Saturday against the Akron Zips. The Bobcats were able to get the job done on the road by a score of 34-17. The Bobcats went into the halftime locker room at 10-10, but after a third quarter Akron touchdown, Ohio scored 24 unanswered points to eventually get head coach Tim Albin his first win. The Ohio rushing attack pulverized the Akron defense to the tune of 398 total rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. DeMontre Tuggle had 201 yards and a touchdown, and Coach Albin credited him, his offensive line, and playmakers O'Shawn Allison and Armani Rogers to help dominate by running the ball.
Again, it starts with the guys up front, all right, and then you got Armani in there, and he's coming off the mesh, and DeMontre's got the ball, and they can't find DeMontre. I thought both guys, O'Shawn and DeMontre, did a nice job. They've done a nice job up to this point, and I think it's a combination of having Armani in there and his ability to run the ball, all right, and then the guys up front.
The Bobcats are back at Peden this Saturday for homecoming with a matchup against Central Michigan. The Ohio women's soccer team has gotten off to a red-hot start in MAC play, and they tried to keep up that record against Toledo. It was a dogfight from the opening whistle at Chesa Field. Both teams came in with 7 wins and were both looking to continue their recent hot streaks. After a scoreless first half, the Bobcats would pick up the intensity
and would eventually find their winning goal, courtesy of Serena Dierig. Coach Aaron Rodgers credited Serena's toughness to be able to come off the bench and score, along with the grit he has in his back line to keep the Bobcats' third consecutive clean sheet.
Experience, and that's what I said to her when we were ready to make the change. I said, you got to go out there and make a difference. We need your composure, your leadership, your experience, and for her to go out there and make that difference. I mean, a lot of experience back there. Obviously, 3 seniors with Sam and Sinsky and Morgan, and then Nora's a 5th-year senior. So a lot of experience. Ella's a junior. So they've been working hard together. They've been putting in extra work. They've been putting in time before and after practice, and it's paying off.
The Ohio Bobcat hockey team took on the University of Pittsburgh this past weekend at Byrd Arena. The weekend got off to a strong start for the Bobcats as they pulled away with a 6-3 victory on Friday. Sam Turner led the charge for the Bobcats with 2 goals and an assist. Pitt returned the favor on Saturday with a 5-2 victory. The win marked the Panthers' first ever win over the Bobcats. Next up, Ohio hosts the West Virginia Mountaineers on Thursday night in Athens. The Ohio field hockey team went on the road against Davidson on Sunday, and they were able to pull out a big 3-2 win to get their 4th victory of the season. Jillian Shive added 2 more goals to make it 8 on the year for her, but it was Kaylin Long who got the game winner in double overtime for the Bobcats. Ohio had 12 shots on target compared to 14 for the Wildcats, but they got the winner at 2-2 in double overtime. The Bobcats returned to Pruitt Field on Friday to face Bellarmine. That's all for sports. Back over to you, Madison.
Thanks, Ethan. William Shatner is once again saying, "Beam me up, Scotty," only this time it's for real. Shatner will be on the next Blue Origin flight to space, just the second one with paying customers on board. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin made the announcement on Monday. Shatner said in a press release he wants to take the opportunity to see space for himself. The 90-year-old called it a miracle. Shatner played Captain James T. Kirk on the long-running hit TV series Star Trek in the 1960s. The actor went on to star in 7 Star Trek films. The New Shepard NS-18 flight is set to lift off from a remote area of the West Texas October 12th. Back to you, Cam.
Thanks, Madison. Tomorrow in Athens, we will see this high of 77 degrees and partly cloudy with increasing pressure. That will have us see some nicer weather for the next upcoming days. Across the region tomorrow, we will see some showers towards the western part of our viewing area. And for the 7-day forecast, we will continue to see that chance of showers Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Madison Moore. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news at any time at woub.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans or refinancing on an existing home, making it easy for dreams to become a reality. Hocking Valley Bank, we know loans. Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring Tempstar quality you can feel.
And Senate Republicans over raising the debt ceiling. Then a major oil spill off the coast of California threatens wildlife as crews race to contain the damage. And back in session, the Supreme Court takes on abortion, gun rights, and more divisive issues in the new term that starts today. All that and more on tonight's PBS NewsHour.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by...
Before we talk about your investments, what's new?
Well, Audrey's expecting.
Twins. grandparents. We want to put money aside for them, so change in plans.
All right, let's see what we can adjust.
We'd be closer to the twins.